list. Yes. Okay, so then my next question is, has anybody used Microsoft Publisher?
Not for a very long time.
Right? Not for a very long time. How about trying to make a flyer in a Word document?
Oh yeah.
Right? So as soon as you move that picture, the whole document blows up and goes everywhere, right? That whole thing with wonderful Word. Canva is the solution to all of those things. And and they have not only flyers and social media posts, but they have video. They have trifolders. You can send your stuff to print right through their system and they'll mail it to you. They have a whole bunch of stuff that's available to you. So that's what you would use Canva for, is any kind of marketing things that you're doing. Now, the fun piece about this is that there's a free Canva version that eh, most people, I think, have signed up for at some point or gone in there and at least played. There's a free Canva version, but not all of their tools are available in the free one, right? They got to have some reason to have people pay them. Okay, fine. Coldwell Banker has now partnered with them to give us the Canva Enterprise package. And so this is part of our fee that we pay Coldwell Banker on all of our transactions. So if you're not using it, you're not getting your value out of the branch, right? But it's huge. There's AI within the system, and you can tell it to create you something and it will do that. Now, is it going to be perfect? No. Do you have to be very good with your words, like Ashley will be tonight at her seller's presentation? Yes, but it will create it for you, right? Which I think is always fun. But I think AI is fun. I'm not a doom and gloom kind of person with AI.
Remy, Remy, Remy.
Yes, like Remy.
Remy's
Um,
doing great things, just for the record. So
Coming from.
right? Okay. So first things first, to get into Canva Enterprise. Hang on, I gotta show my meeting here so I can see my people. Okay. To get into Canva Enterprise, you have to log in through Desk and click the Canva tile. If you already have a Canva account, it'll just put you right into Canva. If you don't, you might have to set one up. Okay. But if you already have an account, you will have two accounts. One will be the Canva one will be the one, or sorry, one will be the Coldwell Banker one will be the one that you set up way back before. And I'll show you how to jump between the two of them, so that you don't get confused. Or you're like, where's all my stuff? Okay. So first of all, log into Desk. Oh, apparently I can't log into Desk. There we go. Go to the CB Canva tile. This part's the easy part. And of course, it has the two-factor authentication going on. So you got to pick up your phone, say, yes, it's me. Okay, cool.
A
Come on.
gloomy day here. What's the weather like up there?
Same, it's like raining. So
No.
that's cool. Okay, then it'll bring you into Canva. Now, I'm going to walk you through the different parts in Canva, and then I'm going to ask you what you guys want to use it for, really. And we'll have a conversation about all the ideas that you could use Canva for. Um, First of all, you'll have, oh, I gotta move this. Um, because I said you're gonna have two accounts if you've already had a Canva account before. So your Coldwell Banker account is gonna live down here. And so it's going to be, can you guys see this? Can I zoom in? Is that better? Yeah, okay. Thank you. So you see I have two accounts here when I mouse over this accounts button. This is down on the left-hand corner. One of them is the one that I had set up long time ago, right? And the other one, hang on, I'm admitting people. And the other one is the Coldwell Banker one. So all of the Coldwell Banker pieces are in this Coldwell Banker one. They won't be in the one that you've set up before. Okay. I don't know if they're going to merge them at some point, or if you can ask for them to be merged. Okay. Just FYI. Does everybody understand that piece? Yeah. Okay. Has anybody been in Marketing Center? Did anyone use Marketing Center for anything in Coldwell Banker? It really
Yes.
was a terrible project, but right. But Christine, you've used it.
Mhm.
So they had some really cool designs in there. They had whole huge seller presentations, they had buyer booklets, they had a whole bunch of stuff in there that was very interesting. But it was a terrible system to use and to rebrand to yourself. It was super hard. And things were locked that shouldn't have been locked and blah 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 blah. All of those templates are now in Canva and now are super easy for you to use. Okay. Marketing Center will go away here soon. Faith, when is Marketing Center going away?
Like the end of the month. The
End of the
28th,
month.
I think, is the last day. Yeah.
Okay. So if you've made anything in Marketing Center that you would like to keep, you should go in and download it because Marketing Center is going to be gone. Okay. So now that you know that you're in your Coldwell Banker account, coldwellbanker.com, right? Now we can see all of the things. I'm going to start super basic, guys. So your left-hand menu, this is the menu of how you get around the site. This is your home menu. You can search all of the designs, all of the things, right? I want to create a social media post. You can put social media thing in here and it'll bring up what you want. But this search bar is looking at not only the brand stuff, but also everything in Canva. Okay. What the search bar is really great for is to look at what other people have done so that you can get ideas on what you can do. Okay. So that's the search bar. These are all your different types of documents, forms, things that you can make, right? If you want to do something for print, for social media, for presentation. And then it'll ask you, okay, what type? Do you want to do Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn? And it will give you templates that are set up for those social media places. Okay. Because not all photos that fit on Facebook fit on Instagram. Um, okay. This menu here is all of your recent designs. You can see your recent designs are also down here. This is essentially your dashboard, right? Wherever you need to go. The next one down is your projects. Okay. So anything that you have been working on. And then this is also where a lot of the brand stuff lives in these folders. So you can see my recents are on top. This is where a lot of the brand stuff lives. But I wouldn't go here to start doing stuff with it. I'll show you in a minute where you should go. It's a whole bunch of designs, brand templates, any images. Now you can upload your own images to here. So if you have certain pictures that you like to use, you can upload them. Okay. Videos from the brand. You can use all of these. They're all for you to be there. Now I know Faith, you use folders quite often in Canva, don't you?
I've kind of tried to start using them because I feel like it's easier to organize things. So yeah, I just actually like a few weeks ago just went through and tried to like put everything in folders to kind of organize things. Canva has kind of a weird organizational system though, where it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't seem as instinctive as I feel like it should be. But you're
Hmm.
still at least able to put them in the folders so you could find them later if you needed to. But searching, I feel, is probably the easiest way to find a project you're looking for.
Hmm. As
So
long
yeah,
as you remember the name,
right. Yeah.
right?
And
Yeah.
definitely titling your projects is key. Like,
It's
don't just
key.
leave them untitled.
You have
That's the fun
84
part.
different projects that are untitled. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Not
Like
good.
like this one that I have right here. Look at that untitled design. Um, yes. Okay. So the next piece here is brand. And this is essentially where everything from Marketing Center got dumped. Okay. I feel like this side gets bigger, but these don't get bigger when I zoom in. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Seller's presentation, buyer's presentation, social media posts. Um, you know, those of you who got a award designation from Coldwell Banker, there's all of those posts, which Faith will be working on for us, right? And then you scroll and you scroll and you scroll and you scroll and there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Um, there is open house flyers, open house postings on social media. Okay. There's just property flyers. I know that's something that I get asked for a lot. Oops. Is just flyers in general. Do we have a flyer for this, or can you make me a flyer because I want to go put it up? They're already here. And the nice thing about Canva is you can drag and drop all of the information. Drag and drop the picture into these places. Move it around. Now, also in here is your guidelines, all of the brand guidelines. So if you're not sure how to use the logo or if you're using it correctly, one, you can always ask Faith because she's our expert. But the other piece is you can go in here and you can actually find it. Okay. There's also logos for the whole company. And then it talks about the brand colors and the things that you can use and fonts. And these fonts are in Canva already. So that's nice. What the brand voice is. Coldwell Banker has a whole bunch of professional photos that we can use. Those are also in here. Now, I will say not a lot of them have the Northwoods feel that we like, right? That's the only issue that I found with their photos, but their photos are really nice. Then some graphics about Move Meter. Does anybody use the Move Meter from Coldwell Banker? No? Okay, that's fine. A better question. Does anyone know what the Move Meter is? Nope. Jay's shaking his head. Okay, cool. Coldwell Banker came out with this project of a move meter, and it's something that they push out during the football games. And so you compare two cities, right? So if I were to move from Atlanta to Santa Fe, you would put both of those cities in there and it would tell you the differences in those two cities, right? Sales price differences, cost of living, transportation, blah, 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 all those things. Um, and so it was just a cool tool to use. Brandon, have you heard anything from the brand about whether or not that tool has helped people get clients? I mean, it's a cool tool, but
Yeah, I would say there are stories, which is why it's continued to be there, and why development continues to go around it. So I think,
Mhm.
when we're not as diverse in location, it's not as helpful, but the tool itself has proven valuable for sure for people. And again, it's
Okay.
just a conversation piece. There are other ways to use it to create engaging content, if you will. But um,
Mm,
yeah. So to answer the question, yes, I have heard stories, and I know people personally who have used it. So yes.
okay. Perfect. Okay, cool. Um, okay. So that's what Move Meter is, just so everybody knows. The next piece down here that we have access to through Canva Enterprise is Canva AI. Uh, and you can put into here, just like any other AI thing, I want you to make me something, right? So like I was playing with it the other day, and I was like, I want you to make a northern Minnesota scenic B-roll. And what I wanted it to do was have a Coldwell Banker sign at the very end, but I couldn't quite figure out how to do that part. But this is what it came up with. A little fast for my taste, but I was like, all right, that's not bad. And this is literally what I put in to AI. Create this. Now, when you're doing the AI stuff, you can upload images. So if you want your face in it, you can absolutely do that. I don't know why those pictures. Oh, because I wanted to put a funny Minnesota realtor by the lake. And so this is what it came up with. I don't think this is a real person, but it looks like a real person. I also don't know why he's so angry. Um, but that's what Canva came up with.
He's being really passive aggressive, I think.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
probably. That makes
Hmm.
sense, right? For
Yeah.
Minnesota. Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
All right, that's fair. Does anybody who uses Canva used the Canva AI? Faith, have you used it at all?
Don't
Sometimes?
really. I don't
Okay,
know. I just sometimes I don't like what AI does, and so I just prefer to do it myself, but that's just me.
that's fair, right?
Yeah.
It can't always fix the things that you don't like, right?
Yeah.
So I get that too.
Hmm.
Um, did anybody think of ideas of what you could use Canva AI for? No, not
I'm
really.
sure there's lots of things.
There is, definitely.
Uh,
I just,
I mean, I'll use it to generate, like when I do my speaking gigs and stuff, like if I'm looking for a specific slide background or something, I'll use that to pull a photo. Oftentimes, depending upon the city I'm in, I'll use it to say, give me a city landscape of Tampa or something, right? And then it'll generate something, and then I'm able to use it in that capacity. I've used it seller presentations and stuff. I've used it there to be like, hey, I need a real estate agent sitting at a table with somebody, or something like that. And it's been pretty helpful. I've asked it to clean up data, and make something look pretty. Like, here's my data set, if you will, and do something pretty with it. That one's a little hit or miss depending upon how you copy and paste your data, but it's still there and it still works. So those are a few things that I've used the AI component for.
So that's a good point. Using like InfoSparks, if you take any of those graphs that you can use from InfoSparks for any of your presentations, you can throw them into here and make them pretty. Because I mean, they print off fine from InfoSparks, but they're definitely not in a pretty format, right? Definitely not Coldwell Banker branded. So you could definitely do that. Yeah. Okay. So that's the AI function. Now there's a couple more functions over here. There's apps, there's the content planner, and there's the design school. So the apps are everything that can be connected to your Canva account. Some of these things are extra cost, like Hootsuite is a system where you can schedule all your social media stuff. Um, and and so you can add that to your Canva if you use Hootsuite already. Okay, all of those things. Does anyone use Hootsuite? Does anyone have enough social media profiles to use Hootsuite?
Not
No?
anymore. It doesn't like it. So
Okay, that's good to know. I used to use it for the fair board all the time. And so that
yeah,
was good.
using third party things, while it is convenient in volunteer roles and stuff, the algorithms usually don't like it. They want you to post natively in their content, or in their platform, which is why often
Mm,
using the scheduling feature is a better tool. So you can batch upload content and then just have the system auto post it for you.
okay.
That's not the topic of today, though.
No, but it's definitely part of it because the social media things are probably what most people are going to use Canva for. Would you guys agree? Is social media posts, flyers, things like that? Yeah.
And flyers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One of the apps that's in here is the Coldwell Banker app. And they did this was the Anywhere app. If anybody remembers the emails from before, it was just the Anywhere app. Now it's the Coldwell Banker app. And so this app, and you'll have to help me with Faith because I don't fully understand what the point, but when you add this app to your projects, whatever your project is, it will it will add Coldwell Banker things, from what I understand.
Yeah, so it should also pull like your listings and
That's
listing
what it was.
information and photos and all that kind of stuff, and your agent information and headshot and all that stuff. I just don't
Hmm.
personally have obviously like listings and stuff like that, so it doesn't show anything on my side. I think eventually they're supposed to make it so like marketing um personnel can get access to that stuff, but they just haven't done that yet. And then also in the offices tab, you can access all the logos for the office. I usually just use that top one, I think, is where they all kind of live.
Hmm. So I'm gonna back out of here quick, and use a different one. I'm gonna use this one. That looks good. Okay. So here's what I did. We're going to go back. I clicked on the app. I said use an existing design, right? I went to my projects and then I'm going to use this design. And what it does is it opens this sidebar here. You can see the app is down here at the bottom. And it gives me all of these tabs: listing, agent, teams, offices, right? So if I had any listings, my listing information would show up in here. This feed comes from the MLS to Coldwell Banker to Dash and then pushes into here. Okay. I would be super interested to know if anybody has seen their listings in here yet. So when you get in here, let me know because we as staff don't have access to our agents' listing photos yet. It's coming, but it's not there yet. But all of your stuff should be there. Then it has your agent information. This is all pulled from Dash, as well as this media piece is your headshots, right? And literally, guys, you drag and drop. You can resize it, you can move it, you can lock it if you don't want it to move anymore. Okay. Oops, wrong button. Super easy. So then the same thing will happen for your listings. When you have your listings in here and all the photos, you can drag and drop, which will be great. If you have any team stuff, it should be under here and then offices. There we go. So when I clicked on offices, come on, it gives me two options, the white logos or the blue logos, right? Oh, sorry, company logos. This must be Coldwell Banker, Faith.
Yeah, it's kind
And
of
then,
confusing because on my account it shows like all offices. And then I think it also shows the
ah,
company. Yeah. So I always just hit the company one because that just shows all the logos,
okay,
I think.
perfect. See, this is why Faith is here. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's a little confusing.
Okay. So then when I click on that and I go to media, it'll have all of the Coldwell Banker Crown Realtors logos. Okay. And then, guys, drag and drop. Oops, I dragged it in the wrong spot. That's it. Easy peasy. Now, for those of you who have been using Canva, did you just upload all the logos as you were
Yeah.
using it? Right? And all your listing pictures, you had to upload it to the MLS and then upload it to here too, as well
Yes.
as your headshots, all of those things. Yeah. So hopefully this makes it faster. Now, again, to get to your listing information, it's this Coldwell Banker app that you have to add. Okay, down in apps, Coldwell Banker.
Do you have to do that every
Okay.
time, Katie, or does it add it to the left once you add it?
So let's go look.
Because sometimes when you press the more, if you added apps in the old Canva, the app would show up to the left.
Would show up to the left all the time.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Yep, it's right there. You're absolutely right. So what I did was I went in and I started a new project. And the app is already there because I used it the first time.
Okay.
And then all listing agent teams, offices. Yep. Now, Chris, to do Vern stuff, you might have to log in through his Coldwell Banker piece, through
Yeah.
his desk to get his listings.
What if, but what if we set up as a team?
That could be. I'm not totally sure because
Okay.
we because it's
Okay.
so new. I'm not totally sure yet.
Okay.
But possibly. What I'm also not sure about is a co-listing agent, is if
Oh,
your co-listed properties will show up. Again, because I can't test it because I don't have any listings.
Darcy
Okay.
just put a screenshot that I sent her a week or so ago of instructions of how to get into that or how to get access to that Coldwell Banker app if anyone needs it. It's in the chat. Thank you,
Love it.
Darcy.
Perfect. Um, did anyone go to the Canva training last week?
Yes.
Yeah. Chris, how was that? Was that helpful?
Um, sorta. I don't know
Okay.
because I've been working in it for a while, but yes, I think it had a good basic.
Sure.
But I just found some of the things that he was showing I didn't see on ours. And don't ask me
Okay.
what that was because I don't remember. So,
That's fair. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. Um, okay. I'm going to show you one more thing. So there is a content planner in here. But then this design school is how to use Canva. So if you need to learn about anything in Canva, this is where you go. If you have questions while you're in Canva, you can use this help assistant. And it's an AI, fast answers. It's available to you 24/7. Okay. What I did want to go through is how the brand wants you to use the templates. Okay. So if you want to use something that Coldwell Banker has to offer, you should go to the brand option. Do, 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 do. And then make sure you're in all brand templates. And then you want to choose something. So since we're talking about flyers, let's go ahead and use a flyer. And I want to find a right flyer. Let's see. Do, 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 do. I want one with one agent. Ooh, or no agent. So you can see right here that they have brand templates, right? So this means that you can't edit the template itself, but the system will make a copy, and that copy will be yours to edit and do with whatever you want. What I would recommend is that if you're doing property flyers or posts for multiple properties, that's when you're going to use the folders and you're going to go in and you're going to create a brand template for each one. Okay. Keep it all in one place. Or if you organize differently, then you can definitely do that too. But that would be my recommendation. When you click on that, you can look at what this flyer looks like. So it's got, big old picture on the front, and then 3 pictures on the back with some listing information. You're going to click on this use brand template, and it will open up another tab and it'll rename it copy of whatever they had named it in Coldwell Banker. This is now yours to be able to edit, change, delete, save, whatever, right here. This is where, once you create a copy, you should rename it to whatever property. There we go. To whatever you need to name it so that you'll remember what it is. So if you're doing a property flyer, if it's for a specific property, maybe you want to go ahead and name it for that specific property. Okay. Now you can customize this any way you want. You can see this property flyer name changed up here as well. And then it'll change on your home screen because this will show up right under my recents. To change anything, you click into it and you change it. On the top bar here is when you're in one of these boxes, this is going to be how you can change some of those things in those boxes. So if you want to change the color, whether or not it's bold, all those things. Okay.
So this is then, Katie, where we can go down to the apps and then click on the Coldwell Banker to pull the listing information to drag and drop, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's exactly. So now that I put, a name in there, then you can drag and drop any of your listing information in there. So please, those of you who are going to get in here, let me know if your listing information is in here. The other thing you can do is you put your photo in here. You can see there's places for a photo down here. You drag and hover in that box of where you want it to be and drop it. It'll put it in there. And I don't know if you saw it turned it black and white because that's how this flyer is set up. That's how this template is set up. You'd fill in your information. If you screwed something up and you're like, oh, I don't want that, there's an undo button, or you can use Control Z. Okay. All of these photos are the same. You just drag and drop. Same thing. We go in the Coldwell Banker app over to offices and then to media. You can put the Coldwell Banker logo, resize it. Okay. It is really easy to use. And I'm just showing you a very small amount of the things that you can do in here, because it is a type of system where you do have to get in and play a little bit to understand all of the pieces and how they work together. Here's another piece. When you go up to share, this is how you can download it to your computer to then post on socials. There is a way where you can link your socials to post it directly. Um, and you can print it. You can do everything right in here. Okay. It also will tell you who can access the document. So if you're making something and you're like, oh, I need Faith to look at this because I'm not sure that I put the logo in the right way. You can put at Faith and her information will show up. Now, I will tell you, everybody in the Coldwell Banker brand will also show up in here. But then I can send it to her and say, hey, Faith, will you make sure I did the logo right and share it? Now, here's one of my favorite things. If Faith gets into this while I'm also in this, it works like Google Docs. And so you'll see her little symbol come up here, and then you can see where she is in the document and what she's doing in real time. So if you ever are working on somebody, I mean, we all work in multiple different places, right? We're all over northern Minnesota and North Dakota. And so if you need to work on something with someone, instead of having to be in the same office, you can just share the flyer with them, right? And then you can both be looking at it and moving things and changing things. So that's fun. What other questions do you have? What are you going to go in and play? That's my whole point. I want you to get to a point where you feel comfortable to go in and play and see what's available.
So the only way to get in here is through the Coldwell Banker desk and then into. You can't, there's no other way to get into this version, right?
Nope. So, really good question. So, once you link it, once you log in through CB Canva the first time, okay, then I'm going to get out all of these. When I get into Canva any other time after that, my Coldwell Banker profile will already be linked. So you don't have to go into Desk and then Canva every time. Once you link it that first time, then you can just go into Canva. But you'll have to make sure you're on the right account.
So what I should do is set up a free version for Vern, do that, and then go into his CB desk, and the two should link. Is that right or wrong?
I don't think you would need to set up, if Vern doesn't have an account, I don't think you need to set up a free account. It should already create an account when you click that CB Canva link. Now, it's a single sign-on
Uh-huh.
through Coldwell Banker. So it'll use his Oak to verify or the Google Authenticator um, to get in there, even when you're going into Canva. Once you go in there the first time, it'll create an account.
So then I wouldn't have to get into a CB desk again to get back into it then, right?
You shouldn't. You just need his Okta Verify or his Google Authenticator. If the system has logged you out in any way. That would
Okay.
be
Well,
that would, yeah.
I was looking for a workaround. So,
Right? No,
yeah.
I think that would be a good workaround for now,
Okay.
until we have access. Now, they haven't told us when staff will have access, but it is on their roadmap and they've said soon. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to pop in and mention something too. The Coldwell Banker Canva only has access to those brand templates. It doesn't have access to like all of the Canva templates. I think you might have mentioned that earlier. So I just wanted to
Mm,
clarify if you do still want access to those Canva templates, like the ones that aren't branded, that are just, any random kind of template, you would need a separate account for that. So I just wanted to mention that just for
Okay.
clarity.
perfect. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So you remember at the very beginning when I showed you here and I was like, you can search anything and find whatever templates that anybody's used ever, right? In here, if you're on the Coldwell Banker account, it'll only have the Coldwell Banker things, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So then you would have to go to your other account, your free account, to search anybody else's things that are not going to be branded the way that they should be branded. Okay.
So then how do you save something to go into the branded account if you wanted to do that?
I don't know that answer. Faith, do you know like how you would move something from your CB Crown account to your Coldwell Banker one?
So I usually just, if you're in your, I'll just call it your personal account, right? If you're in your personal
Okay.
account, you're in a design, you basically just share it with your Coldwell Banker account
Okay.
and
Mm,
then it will show up. Usually, so it's also kind of weird because we don't really have our Coldwell Banker emails. So usually if you share a design to like your CB Crown account, you get an email for it and then you can go through that link in your email. But we don't have access to our Coldwell Banker ones. So the way you get to it is through that little bell icon on the bottom left. If you have anything in there, it will say so and so shared a design with you and it will show up in there.
Okay.
So that's actually what just showed up in mine when Katie just shared that design with me a little bit ago. So I had to
mhm.
find it in there, which is kind of weird. Um, but I guess it's just something to be aware of.
Yeah, the one thing you want to watch is your ownership and who owns the file too. So if you do the route that Faith mentioned, the branded account will still be the owner of that file. You can transition ownership, or you can make a copy in your personal account once you get to that design, if that's where you want it to live. I can tell you that as of now, the brand has stated, even with the the Compass merger, that there is no intent to get rid of Canva Enterprise. So, to the best of our knowledge, it will stick around. So, I don't see a reason to change ownership. And if they ever decide to sunset the partnership with Canva, then at that point we would have ample time to go in and start to move designs and everything over. But this was pushed for and longed for, and I can't see it going away. So, but
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, Faith, is there anything else that I've missed that like tips and tricks that you use on a regular basis or is, remember base level, right?
Yeah,
Not
I mean, we
higher
didn't really
level.
get into like the nitty gritty of like the designing aspects. I think you really
Hmm.
covered all the basics. And yeah, I
Okay.
guess if there's any other questions, feel free to shout them out or I'm happy to help.
Hmm.
Those little tutorials that
Hmm.
they had that you could go through. Yeah, the design school. I found that
Design
really
school.
helpful. Yep, that was really helpful because they'd tell you about it and then you can go in and do it yourself. So if you're a
Perfect.
visual learner, it definitely helps.
Yep. Every bit of it. Oh, I didn't know you could use it on mobile. See? I don't know these things either. You can
it's
edit
not great,
photos
but
within the
you can do
system
it on, you
on
can
mobile.
use the mobile. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Maybe it's because I have
Okay.
fat fingers and I can't zoom and pinch and rotate and
Yeah,
do everything I want
on an
as
iPad is a little
precisely.
bit better, but it's still not as easy as it is on computer, in my opinion.
Okay. Hmm. Any other questions? Anything you want me to go over again? I think the biggest piece that everybody needs to remember is to make sure you're in the right account once you get in there. And then to get to any of the brand templates, you have to go to the brand button and you'll be in the brand templates. So if you remember those two things, you should be cooking with fire at that point.
Yeah, I say just go in, play around with it. The more you kind of get in there, the more easy it gets to understand the navigation of everything. At least that's
Hmm.
what I've found.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have an idea of what they're going to go in and try to use this for right away? No? Nothing? Okay. Well, that's all I have for you today. Have fun. This was a boring tutorial training. Tomorrow we're having the listing lab. If you haven't signed up already, please do. And so we'll be working on listing presentations, how to talk to sellers, and the whole goal is to get you guys to be able to close the deal and get as many listings as possible. And this is the building blocks of that. So that starts tomorrow at 9 o'clock. But you have to sign up. So don't forget to sign up. Brandon sent out a text message out to everybody just yesterday again. So use that link, go ahead and sign up, and we'll send out that training links this afternoon. Okay? If you have anything else, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you guys later.
Thank you.